In this video, I'm going to be showing you a cheat code on how to draw better support and resistance or supply and demand zones on your charts to pick more accurate potential spots where the market may turn or continue in the direction of a trend. As we get started, make sure to hit the thumbs up button and subscribe if you're new. Let's jump in. Okay, so yes, this is a basics video, but I want to talk about something that I get a question about all the time, which is how to draw accurate levels of support and resistance on your charts. And in this video, I'm going to be showing you one of my cheat sheet or life hacks to finding better support and resistance zones. And it's so simple, yet nobody really seems to do it. So I'm going to show you that trick in just a second. But first and foremost, I want to show you something about support and resistance. A lot of times what you'll see traders do is they will start to draw horizontal lines and treat price as if it is a pinpoint perfect spot where price is likely to turn. And I just want to caution, because yes, there are some people who use, straight up just horizontal lines, marking key levels of support and resistance using horizontal lines. But I would encourage you, or at least from my experience, have found it to be more useful to treat support and resistance zones as that, zones, not specific levels, but rather zones, right? So sure, you can get really nitty gritty and say, I think that the support is at 6,200 for SPX, or if you're looking at Euro or gold or whatever you're looking at, like you can pick specific levels on a price mannerism, but I would actually encourage that instead of looking at support and resistance or supply and demand as a specific price point, to rather look at things in the form of zones, because price tends to move imperfectly and there's a lot of noise and millions of variables determining where price is going to go next in financial markets. And it is rare that you're going to get a picture perfect pinpoint turnaround at a specific price level, but rather you may see a zone of support get tested, or multiple areas within that zone get tested before ultimately moving. So again, my opinion is actually to draw support and resistance as zones, not as specific pinpoint levels. And so a question I also get really quick is, how do you draw your zones to extend right like this? And this is a TradingView tip that is really simple. So I'm just going to double click this really quick. So once you've double clicked your rectangle, under style, just make sure to extend right. And you can turn this off if you prefer, but for me personally, I really like the idea of just keeping my levels extended right. If you want to extend it left, you can do that too. But for me, extended right is all I need, because then what I can do is I can put it where I think, my support zone wants to go, and then I can just have it extend right. So I don't need to be constantly adjusting the right side of my rectangle. I find that to be really tedious. And so why not just extend it right and make it easier? So that was just a quick cheat sheet in terms of drawing clean zones. I feel like when you extend it right, it looks very clean technically and kind of keeps a consistency in your analysis. Let's now get into the ultimate cheat sheet when it comes to drawing support and resistance. And yes, believe it or not, it has to do with indicators, which is almost ironic because we're talking about price action, support and resistance, and yet using an indicator actually helps. I thought indicators were useless. Actually, they could be quite useful. And I'm going to show you exactly how you can actually use an RSI to find better support and resistance levels. Check this out. So to add the RSI to your chart, simply go to your indicators window, and then I've got it favorited, but you can search up just relative strength index in the search bar and add it to your chart. I've also gone ahead, and if we just hit this gear button or double click the indicator, under style, I've done some slight tweaks. I've got my default of a RSI upper 70 and a lower of 30, right? That's going to be your two levels here and here. But then I've also changed this color to white, and I've removed the moving average just because I don't necessarily need that for my analysis. So once I've got that, I also want to change the input, in my case, to a 4. Now I know most of the time we look at RSI, it's a RSI 14, but in this case, I'm changing it actually to a 4. So do that on your chart if you want to mimic what I'm doing here. Okay, so now that I have my RSI on the chart, it is really fascinating what starts to happen when you overlay your RSI onto your technical chart and start drawing zones with consideration of the RSI. What I'm going to do now is I'm going to mark up the instances in which case the RSI in this clear upward trend has printed an oversold reading on the 4-period RSI. Okay, so I've added vertical lines at the points in which we got an oversold status on the RSI. And it just so happens that this actually helps to create a really neat and clean level of support and resistance. Now, one of the big controversies around support and resistance is that there is a bit of subjectivity to it. You can draw it a whole bunch of different ways. But with an indicator, the coolest thing about using an indicator is it's just a mathematical formula that helps to add a formulaic component to support and resistance. So if you struggle with finding clean levels of support and resistance, this is how I do it. And nothing is perfect, but this is the best way I know how to draw clean support and resistance levels. I'm going to draw my levels of support based on areas on the chart in which it coincides with an RSI oversold reading, that is 30 or below. Now, if it was in a downtrend, I would also be drawing the levels of resistance. I typically don't even draw levels of resistance in an uptrend because I find that to be redundant. I'm not looking to short an uptrend, I'm looking to buy an uptrend on dips. And so what we can see here is that each of the instances in which we got an oversold reading and then also lined up our support level actually helped to create some really clean levels of support for us to monitor going forward. Again, all we've done is drawn support and resistance like a trader may usually do, but incorporate and filter for instances in which the RSI has actually reached an oversold status point. At those times, we then draw in our support and resistance level based on those V-shape movements. You can see that our support levels are coinciding with nice sharp reversal points in the chart, showing us where buyers are clearly stepping in and buying. One of the strongest ways to ensure that you actually have trading edge is to backtest your strategies thoroughly. And I'm proud to say that today's video is sponsored by the best software in the game for helping traders to find an edge. That is none other than Forex Tester. Forex Tester has some of the most impressive software in the trading space for backtesting and building strategies that actually work and are consistently able to make money in the long term. Whatever your trading style and whatever you trade, Forex Tester gives you the tools to put yourself into a simulated trading environment in which you can backtest and see just how good your trading strategy actually is, and to build up your strategic edge in the markets before you start trading live real money. I'm hitting it hard here today in this video that the real key to trading success is good position sizing and actually having a strategic edge, and that trading discipline and psychology is also important, but those things will come in line after you've actually done the work to build a systematic edge and a system in the markets. It's much easier to stick to the system if you actually have a system that's built on back-tested results. So I highly recommend that everybody who's watching this who has not already spent some significant time back-testing and building strategies to actually ensure that you should be making money in the markets with a system, you should absolutely take some time to check out today's video sponsor, Forex Tester, down below in the description. And they're also offering a significant discount to subscribers of my YouTube channel with the promo code that you see on the screen right now. Enter that promo code at checkout and use the link in the description down below to start backtesting your systems and strategies to do the steps necessary to actually become a profitable trader. To me, this is a no-brainer. Rather than trading live money and just donating it to the markets, you should absolutely be taking the time to spend a little bit of money on a subscription for a software tool that helps you to backtest and build out your edge before going live. So check out today's video sponsor down below in the description, Forex Tester. Thanks again to them sponsoring the video, and now back to it. A lot of times people talk a lot of smack about indicators, calling them useless or lagging. But one of the cool things about indicators is that they add some sort of mathematical or formulaic component to what we're doing. It's really easy to start drawing trend lines and support and resistances, but the problem is there's many different ways to do it. A repeatable instance or something that can be, handed off in terms of a rule set to another trader requires some level of hardcore mechanical outlining. And so having a simple RSI for support and resistance filtering adds in a layer to what we're doing to help make things a little bit more mechanical and rule set based. I hope this tip was helpful to you in finding better support and resistance levels, and if you have more questions, please feel free to leave them in the comment section down below. Thanks for watching. I hope that video was helpful to you, and I also wanted to make sure to share our Telegram channel with you. Every day we are posting up chart markups and analysis and in-depth breakdowns of what's going on both fundamentally and technically in the markets. We also drop bonus videos in the Telegram channel, so don't miss out. Come join our Telegram channel. The link is in the description down below. Have a great rest of your day.